Alright, I've been asked to show a little bit of my filtration, so I'll go ahead and do that. One of the things that I do is have a constant trickle of fresh water always going into the pond. I made an activated carbon filter, takes out the chlorine, and I flow that water in 24 hours a day, and it works out to about 14,000 gallons a week of fresh water coming into the pond. And there's two 4-inch bottom drains, and each 4-inch bottom drain goes to a set of these vortex tanks, 3 vortexes. And the first vortex is settlement. That's all the heavy solids settling out to the bottom there. And I'll go ahead and flush that out. Shut off the valve from the bottom drain. Open the drain valve. And we'll flush that out. The second chamber is brushes. The water goes down below the brushes and has to come up through the brushes before it can get to the third chamber. And the third chamber is the aerated matting. And we've got matting down there with aeration underneath. So there's 2 sets of these vortexes that are gravity fed from the pond. And there's also a skimmer, and there's a 2-inch intake and a 3-inch intake down here. Go in here to the pump shed, and what we have is a manifold down there that has the 3-inch intake and one set of the vortexes, and on this end of the manifold we have a pump, and then on the other end of the manifold we have the other vortexes, and we have the skimmer, and then we have another pump at this other end. And this pump that's on this end pumps straight to the backy showers. And so most of the water that's going to the backy showers, it's split between the vortexes and a 3-inch mid-level water drain. And there is a valve in the center of that manifold that I can shut so that I can make that half run off this pump and the other half run off the other pump. But I usually leave that valve open and let it decide which way the water wants to go. And on this pump we have the heating system, which that's the controller right there. The water's at 70 degrees. I've got the target set at 69 degrees, so the sunshine helped a little bit today. We actually warmed up a degree over where the pond was before the sun started shining. And that heater at night really does help keep the water from dropping down to a lower level. But yeah, there's an expansion tank and a recirculating pump and a heat exchanger. That's all part of that tankless hot water heating system. And I do have a 120 watt high output UV sterilizer on here. I haven't changed the bulb in a couple years, but I do have spare bulbs. So it's probably not actually even doing any good. I have that other intake that's in the pond goes straight to this pump, and this pump pumps to a clarity unit and upflow sand and gravel filter that is actually a buffering filter filled with lithaqua and crushed coral. So go back over there. And this is the buffering filter. That's the crushed coral, water flowing up through it. And I clean that with a spa blower. And every couple days. And then there's the backy shower. We flow about 10,000 gallons an hour through the backy shower. And this is the clarity unit, which overnight it does produce a lot of foam. And the foam goes in this tray and then breaks down and goes down into a bucket down below that I empty. So all this is just really gnarly stuff that would be in the water if you weren't doing any foam fractionation. And the other foam fractionation that I do is the water that comes out of the backy showers goes into this header pond, and I float a pipe on the top of the header pond. It keeps all the DOC foam right here, and then I net it out with my skimmer net and pull it out of the pond. And then the water that goes over the waterfall doesn't have that surface DOC foam that's trapped right here. So it gives me a way to eliminate more of that DOC and take it out of the water column. And then we get back to it through the fish. And the fish are very active, and they did just get done eating, but they always like a little more food.